Okay, welcome all to the Foundational Infrastructure Working Group. Let's go over the boards. I mean, let's start. But is there anything people want to discuss in particular? Because there are so many people, maybe there are specific topics they want to discuss before we dive into going over the open PRs.
It's just a fun spot to hang out, apparently.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's the best. Yeah. Okay, let's start. We have a PR. Just have one reviewer here, need another one. I mean, seems useful. Oh, actually, it's like a 2-line change and it includes a test. Okay. Next one. Yeah, this one is still open and we discussed that. And
I saw a PR in that direction.
was there a PR somewhere?
Yes.
Yes, it's this one, right? Yeah. Briefly look over it. Yeah, it looks like a thing we discussed. For context, people, this is the problem here is that on some IaaSes, let's see, what was the original issue? I think it was here. Yeah. So the device path resolution fails on some IaaSes because apparently there is a mismatch between the ID that shows up on the outside to the IaaS and the ID that shows up on the in the VM on Bion or Jammy stem cells. So they have like a certain prefix. The prefix is not always the same. Differs for so different IaaSes have different prefixes, but the idea is that we would like to be able to strip these prefixes so that the matching works. And I think there's a fallback. That's why it's not immediately a problem everywhere. Just costs some additional time. And I think there's problems when you're having multiple disks, right?
I don't know whether it's related to multiple disks, but there's a fallback to resolve by path, which was working. And since Jammy, there are also some issues with that. And that's why we discovered that the resolution by ID doesn't work actually on AWS and Ali.
Yeah.
Is the regex going to be part of the stem cell settings JSON, or is it passed in by the CPI?
Settings JSON in stem cells. That was the idea, right? So the original PR that was here proposed to just split by a dash, because that happens to work on Ali Cloud and AWS, but I felt brittle and not future-proof. So now the idea is to have a regex that we can set through the stem cell builder and make an IaaS-specific prefix that we want to strip.
IaaS and stem cell specific, since it seemed to be a problem that showed up only in Jammy for some reason. So maybe it behaves differently in the future.
Yeah, potentially.
The resolution by path seems to be Jammy specific, not by ID. Somehow the path is somehow from time to time when you have a root disk and a volume attached, could be that the volume has the first character from the from the alphabet and the root disk the second one. Somehow they get. It's not guaranteed that the root disk is the first one. Sometimes.
We can leave this one open until this one is merged.
This one you can ignore. So I think this, I will tell my colleague to close it. Instead, we have the other PR.
Yeah, we
the
have the
same.
other one, right? Yeah, I can close it, right? We have this one. Yeah.
Exactly.
Actually, we could do the same with this one. So it's clear for everybody that's not in this call. No, that's a different one. It's not mentioned here. Which one was it? This one. Yeah, this seems just like a refactor, but some people that we just need reviews on.
Yeah, it's only fakes anyways. Oh well.
Still need a review. I'll take a look. Someone else wants to take a look?
You can add me. I've done this same thing in a couple different repos before. When you run counterfeiter these days, it's like, don't run it this way. Stop what you're doing. It tells you to do it. Probably what Aram's changing it to here.
Yeah, that's in favor of the other one, right?
Yeah, I know, but I was wondering how far we are along with the review. Do we have PR for the? Yes, we have. Did it show up here?
Docs, Bosch.
Yes, it is. It is. Good. Can someone also take a look at this? Because it has been open for 2 weeks. Maybe Beyan, you can take a look at this one.
Okay.
We probably want to remember after this is shipped to re-update the docs to note that like this is only supported on Bosch X and higher.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah, that would be something to leave as a comment maybe here.
I think I have included that, but you can double check.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that's assuming that the other one gets merged before we release, right?
I like the optimism though.
Nice. Yeah, so there's some time pressure in getting this merged. Otherwise, the docs won't work. Keeps thinking that Daniel and Kenneth are due for a review. The load balancing is working. It's just like a bit unfortunate if they don't do a review.
They do the best review ever when they do.
You want to put a comment on this, just linking to the other PR?
Yeah, I was just thinking the same. Yeah. Glad to be here for the first time, though. Meeting you, everyone.
Yes.
I see you again, Ramon.
Yeah. Deutsch üben.
Make sure for
Yeah, we understand that.
something like that. That's it. And we have some issues. Is this something? No, this is not SAP, right? SAP is not running on the SXI.
We also don't use this feature so extensively for most container to container network.
What
Is there
do you
any more
mean with-
details?
Yeah, probably here.
Yeah, I'm wondering what the origin of this is.
Nice. Oh wait, there's additional context for Slack. Probably I don't have sharedness Slack screen.
That's what happened when you just open links without looking.
They say the issue improved after upgrading to 27.2.0. Temporarily disabling CHK sum offload on Silk VTAP interface does resolve the latency issue. But then
Doesn't-
how is that stem cell related?
Doesn't feel like the networking or Diego teams have looked at this at all.
Yeah, I don't think this should belong in the default stem cell.
Maybe it belongs in here if like somebody comes up with a, this is the problem, but like this is
Yeah, but
outside of our scope for investigating why this might be.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a specific, right? Like container to container networking. It's not something supported out of the box.
did he say he was using NSXT?
The T and V, which V is not even a product anymore, I don't think.
Ah, wrong screen. Oh, he said, yeah, test on both. But then I'm assuming that they are using the NSXT plugin, or are they on open source? So the question is this like a VMware customer? As in like, are they consuming TAS or are they consuming open source Cloud Foundry on
The NSX
does
container plugins closed source.
believe so.
So they say it was on by default on Bionic.
Because they are talking about Silk, right? And I believe
Yes.
Silk is not used like using the NSXT plugin.
That sounds true.
Which is probably why there aren't many people running into this. Is that true? Yeah, because not all are like VMware, not all VMware customers on vSphere are running NSXT, but the ones that are running NSXT, they will also use the NSXT plugin, CNI plugin.
Yeah, there are a good number without NSX at all, though. So you think, but I mean, I don't know how many of them have upgraded
Yeah,
to
but
Jammy.
yeah, but this customer is running NSXT
Oh, right.
without
Right.
the plugin. Or it's not a customer, probably, right? Yeah, it is a VMware customer, as in they are consuming vSphere or using vSphere, but they aren't consuming TAS. So that's like, it's a really small set of people that are
It's
running
just this
that
person.
type. It's probably just this person that's running this particular setup.
I think regardless, it definitely makes sense to have the runtime, whatever Diego / networking lives, have a look at
Yeah,
this.
but that, I think he tried that with the original issue, right?
We just ignore him
Because
until he goes to Cappy.
that yeah, that could work. Yeah, we can ask like if there's any particular reason why it was opened against the stem cell.
I mean,
instead
I
of,
think
like,
just because he was like, it works on
Okay.
Bionic and doesn't work on Jammy, so it's a stem cell problem, which it's definitely stem cell related if that's true, but it's more the code sitting on top of the stem cell that's and how it's using the stem cell features that like we almost certainly can't change something to fix this.
Mhm.
Yeah, we follow basically canonical upstream, all the upstream stuff. So if they change it, they probably changed it for some reason. So so I think it's better that they actually fix it in one of the plugins that they're going to use.
Maybe we can ask about the setup he or she has so that
But the setup is here, right?
yeah. But
Given that Amelia has been involved in the Slack thread, I will follow up with Amelia to figure out like what we're gonna do about this, because yeah, I would like to get some more context, maybe also from their decision on not responding.
that makes sense.
Yeah, because I don't want to be like that, like person that starts redirecting them then to another place where they already didn't get an answer.
CF deployment, I think, is a good option.
Yeah, CF deployment. That's the right repo.
Everything gets there.
We just need to make sure that they have an EXI environment. We'll get a license for that, and it will all be fine. But yeah, why do we have 20 commits in Bosch deployment? Okay, do people have an opinion on this? I mean, I know Ramon has.
Well, currently it's going basically a release minima, a minimum of 2 times a day. I think it's a bit overkill.
I don't know what happened on the Bosch deployment side. That happened.
A lot of stuff.
Bumping stuff. But are we releasing so many CPIs? It's all that auto bumping stuff.
Yes.
Go back to just having CVEs everywhere. It was simpler.
Yeah, I think that feels way better. Yeah, but what would be so? Do we want like a gate to only run the full pipeline? I don't know, every week? Or
What is
only
this about
month? It's
jump
just
box
that
deployment?
this is about Bosch bootloader, right? Bosch bootloader is currently set up to auto bump Bosch deployment. And every time it auto bumps, then it triggers the whole pipeline and it runs quite extensive verification tests, right? It deploys a full CF deployment. So it's just quite expensive to do.
This doesn't mention
Especially-
Bosch deployment. This says jump box deployment.
Bosch / jumpbox. It's basically both.
Oh, is it
I'm-
both?
I'm
You-
lazy.
Oh,
you-
sorry,
you-
sorry. I thought that
there's a
was
slash,
Bosch, yeah.
like just like I mean, it's on the screen. It's like
My mind converted Bosch to Cloud Foundry. I'm like, Cloud Foundry says jump box deployment. That's a repo.
I see. Yeah, so I think this is like a cost question, right? We're running like this on a foundation sponsored IS account.
And do we really need every day a new release of Bosch of the bootloader? Because it's
Oh,
creating
you-
every time a new binary.
Does it auto release as well?
Yeah,
Oh, nice. I mean, no CVEs, right? It's awesome, but I mean, it's it seems a bit excessive. Yeah. So what's the? I think the question here is like, what's the ideal release schedule for Bosch bootloader? Apparently, we're now in a situation like going from no updates at all for like a really long time to having too many updates. But so this is yesterday.
I feel like we can fill up the Cloud Foundry day with Bosch bootloader talks.
I would say weekly or bi-weekly. I think that's enough.
But I mean, this is not. Oh yeah, this is last.
How often do we find any issues with the validation tests? Running them often, debugging is easier when you run them.
So the only issues I have now with the bootloader CI is going down is because something messes up once a release or the API is not responding in time, and then it gets red. And when it fails, it cannot rerun it again because there are stuff left over. Still, yeah, and that one is failing because of GitHub is not responding on time.
This one.
Yeah, RCP message.
Yeah. So the expensive one is
Those two.
those two, right? So there's do a full concourse deploy, and then there's a do a full CF deployment.
So yeah, I would say bi-weekly maybe. It's not that important to release every time a new one, because people, if they want, they can just get the latest Bosch deployment. And I even maybe
I mean, like if we do bi-weekly and we can still trigger a manual
yeah, of course you can always
release,
do,
right? Then I think that should be good enough.
Okay, and we will implement it.
Okay, so that one goes to. It's really easy, this one. And then the status goes to open for contribution.
Yeah, we already discussed this one.
I think this is something that's already been fixed. I think this was a bundler mismatch problem. And I think we've backfilled some tests for it. And I think we're due to cut a CPI probably today, so.
Because are they on the latest?
I think, I know the latest, yeah, the latest does have this problem.
Oh, the
Due to
latest
some
has
gem
this
bumps.
problem. It's just
Yeah.
a commit that can we link to a commit? Ooh, use Git LFS to vendor gems.
The commits by Yistros on the 6th, I think, were intended to try to fix this and add auto bumping and make it so bundler doesn't do terrible things.
This one, introduce auto bumps gems. Oh.
I think the ones on the 6th were actually
Oh, this one. Yeah.
Were to somewhere in here. One of those commits fixes it. There was a, oh, this is broken, and oh, none of this auto bumps, and oh, there's tests that are doing terrible things. I think there was a lot of cleanup around the Ruby and the gems and everything.
Nice that this all went through a PR and that it was like had a nice description in it and stuff, so it's easy to find. Let's but I mean, we don't have to do this now. Joseph, could you find the commit and like response on that
Yeah.
issue? Okay. I'm just gonna sign it. And that means it is actually prioritized. Wait, exemplar release? Who's using that? Well, yes, thanks. What's the, is there a question? This is a statement. Um,
I think it
Can I
wants
find-
to have the same thing in the exemplar release.
yeah, that's, but I mean, okay, plus deploy. Okay, but do we already have post deploy here? Jobs.
Seems you have worked on it.
I don't. We have a post start. Okay, we don't have. Okay.
Create the APR for us.
Uh, yeah, I think that's it. Wait, what was the last time we did this? 8th. So the things that have had activity since then. Maybe these. Wait, what did I click? Oh yeah, that one. Ooh, someone said that if they have time, they will look at it. Did that happen?
Of course not.
Where
Where do I need to find time?
was it a time problem or an failing to remember problem?
Maybe a bit of both.
um, okay.
It has priority 0 for me. Because
Yeah.
the error is shown, it's just that it's just fucked up that it's not shown in the next step in the buffer.
Yeah.
Either I can remove it so nobody is annoyed by it, or I can actually convert
It
it.
already shows the error here, right?
Yeah.
It's just, yeah. I mean, I'm gonna, oh, it's already open for contribution. I mean, I think that's appropriate. Let's leave it at that. Um,
Well, ask
Yeah, I
anyone.
think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wait, what's the status of this one? The Azure Blobstar CPI. No, is it? Yeah, Blob X. It's not a Blobstar CPI. The Blobstar CLI for Azure Blobstars, right? That's what this is about.
The integration in the agent, I think, is
The next step.
direct integration. Okay, yeah, it's still under development.
There is an official repo for it now, but
Yeah, I believe so, but like I haven't heard about it in a while. I believe that PR of that repo is in our working group.
yeah,
Yes.
and there is even a CI for it.
Yeah, so then we should see PRs. I haven't seen a PR for it in a while.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
Ahmed, maybe you can chase that, ask that tomorrow at the daily. Or...
Oh, that's Q3.
Yeah, I can ask Matthias tomorrow.
And otherwise, I will ask him next week.
I will tell
in
him to add
person.
a more recent comment. Just
That's
that.
fine. I mean, there's no hurry. This was something that was
It's not for us.
requested by SAP, right? So like, just curious about it. Okay.
Regarding next week, should we cancel the meeting next week?
Yeah, probably, right? We will be having a boat tour, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah, an in-person after CF Day event thing that we're trying to organize. So if there's people that are feeling like they should be there as contributors, please reach out and we can add you all to the Slack group where we're discussing that. If you're in Heidelberg next week. Okay.
Yeah, 22nd of June.
Okay. Thanks all
was
for
it.
joining. Bye.
See you all later.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
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 Bye.